to face graft-related charges. Ruto tells of critiques on NHIF reform, says they will work, and Hamas says no more hostage releases until war ends.
Ikra 3 p.m. news begins now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's 3 p.m. Hope you're having a lovely afternoon. Welcome to Ikra News. My name is Ramla Abdi. Former Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala is at the Malindi court, where he is set to be charged over irregular 8.5 billion Kenya shillings procurement. Balala was arrested in Nairobi by detectives from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and airlifted to Malindi to be arraigned in court. The former Cabinet Secretary, who served under President Uhuru Kenyatta as Tourism Cabinet Secretary, was arrested alongside other ex-officials from the ministry. Others arrested include Lea Guio, a former PS in Tourism, Flora Ngina, a former ICT manager in Tourism Fund, and Joseph Odero, managing partner, West Consultant Engineers. According to EACC, the arrest comes after investigations undertaken by the Commission in regard to irregular payment of 8.5 billion Kenya shillings by the Tourism Fund, out of which 4 billion Kenya shillings was paid to Baseline Architects Limited for consultancy services for the proposed Ronald Ngala Utalii College in Vipingo, Kilifi County. Meanwhile, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC has ordered 11 suspects who are yet to be arrested over payment of 8.5 billion Kenya shillings for the Utalii College branch in Kilifi to immediately report to its headquarters at Integrity Center. The suspects include 7 Tourism Fund officials who served in the era of former President Uhuru Kenyatta and 4 directors of private companies linked to the payments. EACC Chief Executive Officer Twali Mbarak said the suspects can as well report to the nearest EACC regional office for processing. EACC has arrested 5 out of 16 suspects to be charged with various offences and economic crimes relating to procurement fraud in the construction of the coast branch of the Kenya Utalii College, renamed Ronald Ngala Utalii College in Kilifi County. EACC submitted the investigation report to the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, who upon independent review concurred with the recommendations of the Commission to charge the 16 persons suspected with the various offences. And in other news, the Ministry of Education has announced a raft of changes in the competency-based curriculum CBC following recommendations by the Presidential Working Party on education reforms. In a move that is geared towards eliminating duplication and overlaps across the various levels of basic education, learning areas for lower primary have been reduced from 9 to 7. Upper primary will have 8 learning areas down from 10, and learners in junior secondary school, that is JSS, will undertake 9 subjects as opposed to the previous 14, maintaining key subjects like English, Kiswahili, Kenya Sign Language, mathematics, and religious education. Other subjects linked, like integrated science and health education, have been merged and will now be referred to as integrated science. Social studies and life skills have been integrated into one learning area referred to as social studies. Agriculture and some aspects of home science will now be commonly referred to as agriculture and nutrition. Other concepts of home science will, however, be integrated in science and other relevant learning areas. And a former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta, together with former Taveta MP Basil Criticos, have moved to court over tighter Taveta and measuring 1,062.3 hectares. In the case, they have sued the Chief Lands Registrar and the Attorney General for allegedly failing to issue them with a certificate of title for the land. They now want the court to compel the Lands Registrar to issue them with the original certificate of the title land reference LR number 10287/7 Taveta, arguing that they are the registered owners of the said property. It is their argument that the registrar has failed to issue them with a certificate of title. The duo says that prior to the subdivision of the land, they were the registered owners as joint proprietors. But later, parties divided the land and transferred the subdivisions, which were registered and given their own respective certificate of title. They argue that failure to be issued with a certificate has denied them the right to hold the said certificate as evidence of proprietorship of the said parcel of land. The matter has been certified as urgent. The two granted leave to challenge the issues raised and are to serve their motion within 14 days. The matter will be mentioned March 5th to report compliance. And elsewhere, President William Ruto has said that reforms in the National Health Insurance Fund (NHIF) are aimed at ensuring universal health care for all. Speaking in at his Sugoi home in Turbo, Uasin Gishu County, Ruto told off critiques of the reforms, saying that they were up to no good and were opposed to the transformation of the country. The president noted that majority of Kenyans who are not in formal employment will now be expected to pay 300 shillings monthly NHIF contributions, down from 500 Kenya shillings. On the affordable housing project, Ruto said it is wrong for some people to rush to court to stop projects aimed at improving the lives of Kenyans. At the same time, the head of state asked Kenyans to take advantage of the Hustler Fund to start the support viable income generating activities. He said the fund has transformed the lives of many Kenyans at the bottom of the economic pyramid, especially in the rural areas. On agriculture, the president said his administration would continue to reform the sector to increase food production. He said reforms in the sector have seen a 40% increase in food production this year compared to last year.
News.
And over to international news today is that Hamas, the group which controls the Gaza Strip, has ruled out any more hostage releases until Israel agrees to a full cessation of aggression. Israel said it has killed more than 2,000 Hamas fighters in Gaza since a truce earlier this month, when more than 100 hostages were freed. Around 120 people abducted from Israel on 7th October are believed to still be in captivity in Gaza. Efforts continue at the United Nations to pass a resolution on the war. The US has said it is still in serious concerns over the draft UN Security Council resolution, with voting winning today. Fighting continues in Gaza, with Israel bombarding the north and south of the territory and Hamas firing rockets at Tel Aviv. Among the Palestinians reported killed were the director of the police station in the southern city of Khan Yunis and a daughter of the head of Gaza Health Ministry. The week-long truce this month brought an increased flow of the aid in Gaza, where the UN has warned that the population is at risk of famine if the war between Israel and Hamas continues. And now you're up to date on ICRA News at 11 minutes past 3. For more on these and other stories, do join us at 6 p.m. for another bulletin in Swahili. My name is Ramla Abdi. Ma'asalam.